Right, we're on to synthetic division, which is an important part of this section because it's a way to do polynomial division a little bit easier. Now, and the reason why we do it is this. Look at this here. Now then, if I just do some numbers, let's do 15. 15 is 3 times 5, isn't it? Okay, both of these are factors. They go into it exactly, okay, into 15. They are factors. So if this is a factor, then it must also be an x-intercept, a 0, okay, because it works. It goes into it exactly. Now, with synthetic division, I'm just going to set it up right now. Okay, you just look at this, okay, and write down the coefficients. So 2, 3, 4, -10. Now follow this closely because we're going to be using this a lot. Once you've done it once, practice it a few times, you should be okay. Oops, wrong thing. Let's just do that. Right, I'm going to do this. Right, bring down the first number, okay? And the reason is look, we're only dividing by x. If we are dividing by x, just forget about the +1, then the 2x cubed divided by x will become 2x squared, because I'm only dividing by x. In other words, the 2 will stay the same. The number in front will stay the same, okay? So, here's how you do synthetic division. If this is a 0, remember, -1 must be the x-intercept. So I'm going to use -1. Okay, now look at that. Just watch that, okay? So remember, I've just used the coefficients of this, and I'm going to use -1. If I did this one, I'd use the coefficients there. Oh, this one, trick. Okay, look at the coefficients. 3, -9, 2, -6, but something's missing, the unit, okay, the integer at the end. So if there's anything missing, fill it in with a 0. Like if it jumps to x fourth to x squared, write a 0 where the x cubed must be, okay? So just be careful of that. But anyway, what I'm trying to say here is I would use +3 for my synthetic division. Okay, let's go back to this one up here. And this is what you do. -1 times 2 is -2. Add those two together, you get 1. -1 times 1 is -1. Add those two together, you get 3. -1 times 3 is -3. You add those two together, you -13. Okay. Now, this means that x plus 1 is not a factor. -1 is not a 0 or x-intercept because it has to go into exactly. This would be 0. Okay, at the end, you'd have no remainder. This has a remainder. In other words, the answer to this is 2x squared plus 1x plus 3, remainder -13. And we always write the remainder over the original divisor, which is x plus 1. Okay, so that's what it would look like if you did a long division of polynomial. That's the answer. Okay. So I think I'll leave it at that because the rest of these really... Oh, another thing to do. We can do it right now instead of doing this. Okay, instead of doing this, watch this. Remember, I got -13. How about if I plug -1 straight into the equation? Right, here we go. So -1 cubed is -1 times 2, you'll get -2. Right, -1 squared is +1 times 3, you'll get 3. Right, 4 times -1 is -4. And then -10, okay. -2 plus 3 is 1. 1 take away 4 is -3, -10, yet -13. It's not magic, that's what happens, okay? So in other words, if I was to put -1, based on this, straight into the equation, I will get the same remainder as if I divide by x plus 1. Okay, using -1 in synthetic division. But of course, for that one, all I'm finding is the remainder. I haven't found the rest of this division here. Okay, synthetic division.